Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and to today's video. I hope you're all really well. So today's video is going to be slightly different to what I planned for this week. I was planning to record a day in my sewing life type video, which I've been enjoying making recently. But unfortunately I've been a bit poorly this week with some kind of throat virus. I'm not quite sure what it was really, like a throat infection or something. And it's left me feeling quite unwell this week. But today it's the end of the week now and I'm feeling a bit better, although you might be able to tell that I'm still a little bit croaky. So I've got a cup of tea behind me to kind of help me through this video, but I was feeling well enough to record a video today, so I thought what I would do instead is just talk through some new fabrics that I've received recently, a new pattern, and then just kind of chat through a couple of works in progress that I've got going on as well. So before I get started, I just wanted to quickly talk about what I'm wearing today. So today I'm wearing another Indigo / Lyra dress hack. And this is one of the first hacks I made with the Lyra dress. So it's the Indigo bodice by Tilly and the Buttons. And then the bottom of the skirt is actually just the tiers from the Lyra dress pattern, but I've hacked them slightly and then just mashed them together. So I put this dress on today because, well, one, it's actually sunny for once, so I thought I would actually put a dress on, but also this is one of the dresses that I'm not really reaching for that much. It's not my favourite midi dress, and I thought I would just get it out today and see if I could work out why I don't wear it that much and what I could do to change it. And I think when I put it on this morning, I think I just feel like it's a little bit sort of frumpy. It almost makes me feel like I'm wearing a maternity dress. I'm just going to stand up now and show you how it fits. So you can see around here, sort of under the high waist, that's where I've cropped off the Indigo pattern so that it's just kind of slightly under my bust. And then the rest of the dress is quite floaty here. And I'll pop in a picture as well of me wearing the dress so you can see where it falls on my legs. It's kind of mid-calf length. And I don't know why, but I just feel slightly frumpy in it. I don't normally feel like that with floaty midi dresses, but with this one, for some reason, I feel like that. So I think what I'm going to do with this dress, after a little bit of thought this morning, is actually just add a couple of waist ties here at the high bust to bring it in slightly. And then hopefully you can see, if I stand up again, that will just fit me a little bit better under the bust. And then I think that will stop me feeling so frumpy in it. So I had a quick look in my scraps basket upstairs, and I do actually have quite a lot of this fabric left, luckily. I wasn't sure if I did or not, but luckily there was some of this still lurking at the bottom of my scraps basket. So I think later on today, if I get time, I'm just going to have a go at making a couple of really thin straps that I can attach to the sides and just bring it in slightly. It's funny how you feel in different styles, isn't it? Because I have quite a lot of sort of oversized floaty dresses and I don't feel that way in any of the other ones. So it must just be this style. I think maybe because the neck's a bit higher and the bodice on this is quite plain. I don't know, just don't feel quite right with it how it is. So yeah, just hopefully making that small change will just allow me to feel more comfortable in it. So if I get that change done, I will show you how it looks in a future makes video. And I'll let you know how I feel in it once it's done. The other thing that I'm actually finding with this dress, and I think a lot of people find this with the Indigo pattern, let me know if you found this too, is that it wants to flop backwards quite a lot. And I think if I make the Indigo dress again, I'm actually going to make a forward shoulder adjustment. I think that's the right change to make. Let me know if I'm wrong there. But I need it to fall slightly a bit more forward so that it stops wanting to go back like this and it just kind of catches around my neck and it annoys me a little bit. So yeah, that's another change I want to make to this bodice the next time I make it. So I've been buying a few new fabrics recently, and a couple of them are for plans that I've already shared about within my 3 looks I want to recreate for summer video, which I'll link below if you haven't watched and want to go over and see it. So recently Minerva had one of their Craft Club VIP day sales again, and as always I had a couple of fabrics saved that I wanted to get when they had this Craft Club VIP day, because if you're a Craft Club member you get 20% off of anything on the Minerva website on the Craft Club VIP day. So I always have a little list of things saved that I want to buy when these days come around. I think they're 2 or 3 times a year. So I had a couple of fabrics saved in my basket and one of them was this lovely fabric. So this is a bit of a beast to show on camera actually. It's really thick and bulky, but this is the quilted fabric that I wanted to buy to make my quilted jacket with. So you can see that it's a kind of khaki, I think it's actually called mint green actually, because it's a bit lighter than khaki, but it's a really lovely green colour, and as you can probably tell, it's already pre-quilted. So for my first venture into making a quilted jacket, I thought I would be lazy or make my life easier and buy a pre-quilted fabric already. And Minerva have quite a few lovely quilted fabrics on their website. I'd actually wanted to buy that lovely Merchant and Mills quilted fabric that quite a few people had bought and made quilted jackets with recently. But unfortunately that was all out of stock, so I'd missed my chance there. But this was a really lovely second choice and a little bit cheaper as well actually, so that worked out really nicely. So I've got 2 meters of this to make a quilted jacket from, and I spoke recently in my 3 looks I want to make for summer video, sharing some inspiration pictures of jackets that I'd seen and I like and want to try and recreate. But at the moment I'm still undecided as to which pattern I'm going to use to make this jacket. And when I shared that video, I had so many lovely suggestions from all of you for patterns that I could try. But I'm still a bit unsure, and I think the reason for that is actually because I'm using a pre-quilted fabric. So with quite a lot of quilted jacket patterns, with the exception of the Megan Nielsen Hovia jacket, I think, and a couple of others, they actually teach you how to quilt the fabric yourself and then you make the jacket. But because I'm using this pre-quilted fabric, it just means that I wouldn't be able to make up the pattern in the same way. So I'm actually veering back again to my old friend, the Logan shacket pattern. I'm wondering if I could fashion that into something that I could just get a quilted jacket from, because there are quite a few quilted shackets around on the high street that I really like, and I have had so much wear out of my Logan shackets that I've already made. So I'm wondering if I could just sort of adapt the pattern slightly to make a quilted version of that. I'll pop in an image of the Logan shacket pattern because I haven't brought it down with me today, but you'll probably know it if you watched my previous videos because I've talked about it quite a lot. So if I do go for that pattern, I will need to adapt the pattern slightly, because within that pattern you do things like turning over the button band, and obviously this is quite a thick pattern, so turning things under to make a button band wouldn't really work. Excuse me, my voice is going. I hope I can get through this video okay. I don't feel too unwell, I think I've just kind of lost my voice. It's very croaky, so I do apologise for how I probably sound in this video. Anyway, I'm going to have to adapt the pattern slightly to sort of bind the edges, and also with the collar, if I do make the collar, I'm going to have to look at making that slightly differently as well, because obviously with the collar and the collar stand you double cut the fabric, and double cutting this is going to make everything very thick, so it's going to take a bit of thinking about. But at the moment I'm kind of thinking that I might just use the Logan shacket pattern in some way. But I really wanted to share this fabric because it's so lovely, and it does come in other colours as well. It's making me so hot holding this like this because it's a really warm day today. But yeah, lovely, lovely fabric, and I can't wait to have a go at that. I just need to think a little bit more about what I'm actually going to do first. So next I just wanted to share another fabric that I picked up in that Minerva Craft Club sale because it's really lovely, but this one I might actually put off until the autumn time because you'll see in a minute it's not very summery fabric. So I picked up this Meat Milk Tencel French Terry, and the shade of this is actually Pecan. So this is a good example of saving up more expensive fabrics for when you can get a discount on them, because Meat Milk jerseys, they're so lovely and soft, and they're really lovely quality, really drapey, really soft. And I got 2 meters of this, I think, or maybe slightly less than that, in this lovely shade of Pecan, because I want to make another toaster sweater with it. So this is the toaster sweater pattern. I have shared it before, but it comes in 2 different versions. You can either make this high neck version here, or you can make this more drapey funnel neck version. I've recently made a version of both of these designs, and my favourite version by far is probably version 2, which is this one. It's the more drapey one with a less high neck. And I made it in a stripy French terry, and I'll just pop in an image here so you can see what it looks like. But I really love that design, and I wear that sweater quite a lot, so I really wanted to make another version of that, and I thought it would be really nice in this drapey French terry. Again, this comes in lots of different colours, so I did have trouble deciding what shade to go for. It comes in a really lovely pale blush pink as well, but recently I've bought quite a lot of blush pink, so I thought I'd have a change and go for this pecan colour. I thought it was a bit more mustardy actually than it actually is, but it's a really nice sort of brown colour, and I think it would be really good for autumn time and just sort of that time, end of summertime, where it's getting a bit cooler. It's not super warm because it's not fleecy inside or anything, but it is sort of warm enough to wear just when the weather's cooling down. So I think this will be a lovely autumn make. So another summery plan that I have, which I hopefully want to get on with making in June time actually, because I really want to wear it. You know, when you're sort of planning a make and you can already see yourself wearing it, I really want to get this done so that I can actually wear it before well, before it gets too hot, if it ever does in the UK. We're never quite sure what the weather's going to do in the summer here. But also just so that I can wear it through the summer, obviously. I think I've shared this fabric before in a video somewhere along the line. But this is a really nice viscose poplin from Abercon Fabrics. I was actually given this fabric with no obligation to share or anything. They kindly let me choose something from their new summer range on their website. And I went for this really nice corally pink floral fabric. So with this one, I want to make another version of the Myositis dress by Deer & Doe. So this is the Myositis dress pattern. I've made a couple of versions of this in the past, and I've also made a hacked version of this. But what I want to do this time is actually make this bodice here with the floaty, what do you call that? Like a frilly sleeve. So I want to make the bodice with the frilly sleeve. It comes down to about elbow length, I think. And then I'm going to make the bottom tiered, as it is in this pattern here, or this design here. But I actually want to sort of slightly play around with the tiers again and just make it below the knee. I think this dress actually comes up quite short as it is, so I'm going to just lengthen it slightly down so that it's below my knee. Not quite midi length, but also not quite mini length either. So I think it would just be a bit more of a modest kind of mini dress. I want it to be quite short, but not too short, if you know what I mean. So that's what I want to make with this fabric. Not too much playing around to do there. I think I've already actually resized the tiers of this one, because in the first couple of versions I made, I did resize the tiers slightly so that it was less of a skirt and a frill and more of a kind of double tiered dress. So hopefully I won't have too much work to do playing around with that pattern. I just need to have a look and see what I've already done, but I think that will be really nice in this floaty floral fabric, and it'll be really good for summertime as well. So that's my plans for that one. I'm hoping to get that done next on my list actually, so look out for that one coming soon. So the last thing I have to share with you kind of sewing and fabric wise is actually the materials for my Jack Tar bag by Merchant & Mills. So I shared in my 3 looks for summer again that I wanted to make a bag, something different, and I've been really inspired by lots of lovely kind of bucket bag type things that I'd seen on the high street, so I really wanted to have a go at making one myself. And I was really hoping that the fabric that I've ordered would actually arrive in time for me to share it in this video, but unfortunately it hasn't. So I'm just going to pop in a quick picture of the fabric that I went for in the end. So I did say that I might go for a mustard colour. This is a really lovely twill fabric, quite a sturdy sort of fabric from Robert Kaufman. It comes in so many different colours. I really had difficulty choosing what colour I wanted, and I did think I was going to go for a mustard colour. In the end I decided to go for this navy, which is possibly a little bit of a safe option because I think navy just is my default colour sometimes, is what I kind of gravitate towards. But if this one goes well, you never know, I might make a mustard version as well. So before I chat any further, I'll just pop in an image of the Jack Tar bag by Merchant & Mills. So I've actually downloaded this pattern from their website. You can buy it as a paper copy as well from Minerva, so I'll link both versions in the description if you want to pop over and check them out. But on the Merchant & Mills website you can actually buy all of the hardware for this bag in a really sort of convenient little pouch, and they just send you all of the hardware that you need to make up the bag. So when I ordered my pattern, I actually also ordered the hardware as well, and that came the other day. So it comes all really nicely packaged up in this little brown paper bag. I love Merchant & Mills styling. I love how sort of vintage it is and old-fashioned it is, and they seem to be quite sustainable in their packaging and things as well, so that's really good. So it came all packaged up with a little label here so you can see what the bag looks like. It's not the best image of it actually, but that's what the bag looks like. And then inside this little brown paper bag, open it up, you actually get the leather strap that you need for the bag, and then you also get all of the rivets and things. So I won't get all the rivets out, but you get these D-rings as well, which you obviously use for attaching the straps of the bag with the rivets. And yeah, so you've got everything you need there to make up your bag. And you can actually buy your hardware or your metalware in nickel or brass, and I went for brass this time because I prefer that colour. So yeah, I've got all of my hardware ready to go. I've printed out the pattern and everything. I'm just waiting for my main fabric to arrive. So I'm going to have the navy twill for the outer part of the bag, and then for the inner part of the bag I'm actually going to use this really pretty cotton lawn fabric that I've had for quite a while now from Minerva. It's a really pretty floral with reds and pinks and yellows and everything, and I thought that would look really nice against the navy twill that I've gone for. So yeah, hopefully that will all work out okay. It's going to be really good having a go at making a bag. It's something that I've not tried before. Obviously in the past I've made quite a lot of crafty kind of bags, like drawstring bags and tote bags and things like that for the kids, but in terms of making an actual solid type handbag with rivets and a leather strap and everything, I've never tried that before, so it's going to be a new experience, so I look forward to letting you know how I get on with that one. Next thing I have to share is actually a new pattern that I picked up recently. So I'm sure you'll know of Tailoress Studios and Amy Loudon. I'm currently knitting her Whitmore cardigan, which I've shared quite a lot about in previous videos, and I will give you a quick update on that one shortly. But Amy recently shared on her Instagram stories that she was discontinuing one of her sewing patterns that she was selling on Etsy. So this is the Emmeline Tee by Little Tailoress Sewing Patterns, who is Amy Loudon. But anyway, she was discontinuing this pattern as a printed pattern, and it was for sale on Etsy. And this is a pattern actually that I'd had my eye on for a while. I know when she brought it out, first of all, I wasn't very far along on my sewing journey. I didn't think I'd be able to sew it very well. So I kind of had it in the background and thought, well, maybe I'll try that pattern one day. And then completely kind of forgot about it. And then when she said on her stories that she was reducing the price and discontinuing the pattern, I thought I must grab one of those patterns, because if nothing else, I really love the design of this pattern. I love these kind of designs. So it's a really nice, quite thick pattern envelope, and then inside there's a really lovely instruction booklet printed out, and then you've got your pattern pieces as well, which are all printed onto brown paper. So yeah, it's a really nice design and I loved it, so I really wanted to have this in my collection before it was discontinued. And I've mentioned recently that I'm still on the hunt for my perfect t-shirt pattern, so you never know, this might be the one. So you can see from the front there that there are a few different designs of this t-shirt. It's a really simple style, so all of the sleeves, so there's a raglan sleeve version, there's a grown-on sleeve version, and then there's the sleeveless version, and they all have quite a wide neckline. And you can actually make this t-shirt from either a woven fabric or a jersey, which I really like. And there are instructions for both fabrics and how to use them in the instruction booklet, which I think is really helpful. So yeah, I'm really excited to give this one a go, and I'm really glad that I was reminded of this pattern, because it probably would have been one that had slipped my memory. So yeah, I think it would be a really good one to have in my stash, and yeah, looking forward to trying that out soon. Next, I've got a sewing work in progress to share with you. So as I mentioned, I've been a bit poorly this week and I hadn't really done a lot this week. But then towards the end of the week, when I was feeling a bit better, I just couldn't stop thinking about sewing and things I wanted to make and fabric that I had that I wanted to use up and things like that. And I just had that feeling that I just really wanted to sew something. And on Facebook or something, I always get ads for Marks and Spencer come up on my Facebook feed, as you do. And I don't know if anyone else finds this, but I sometimes feel as though those adverts are quite spooky and almost like they can read your mind, because I've obviously been thinking a lot about jackets and things like that, and shackets and things, because I've been making them a lot and having plans for more. And up on my feed popped this really nice denim jacket from Marks and Spencer, which I actually really love. But it reminded me that in my fabric stash I had this really nice denim look. I'm not even sure what fabric this is actually, but it's kind of like a chambray viscose linen type thing. I'm going to link it below if I can, because I need to go back into a previous video and find out what this fabric actually is, because I've had it for quite a while, and I was actually going to make a pair of paper bag waist shorts with it, which I just never got around to. And I thought, why don't I have a go at making my own version of a similar jacket and make a denim version of the Logan jacket. So that's what I did. I'm going to label this a work in progress because it still needs buttons. I don't have the right buttons for this yet. But I actually only had 1.5 meters of this, and normally the Logan jacket pattern requires 2 meters. So I had to play a lot of pattern Tetris to get these pieces out of 1.5 meters. And I laid out all my pieces. I thought, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to be able to do this. I went off and sat down, had a little bit of a break, came back, fiddled around with it again, and managed to get it all out of 1.5 meters just by turning the sleeves around the other way. So the sleeves here aren't on the grain line as they should be, they're the kind of opposite way round, if that makes sense. I don't know if that'll matter in the long run or not, but I thought I'm just gonna make it anyway. So yeah, this is my denim look Logan jacket. I'm really pleased with this. As I mentioned, my 2 Logan jackets I've already made, I just wear them so much. I've had so much wear out of them, and they're actually quite similar because they're both made from a plaid fabric. So I thought a solid one would be a really useful addition to my wardrobe, and I thought I could actually wear this over dresses and things like that. And when I tried it on yesterday, I'll pop a quick image in. This is from my Instagram stories. I tried it on over a pair of sapphire trousers and a t-shirt, and I thought it actually looked really nice, and I didn't think it would. I thought it would maybe be a bit too long and not really be very flattering, but actually I really liked how it looked. So I think this would be a really good cover-up type shirt to wear in the summertime. So if you're just wearing like a cami top or a vest top or something, it's a really nice neutral colour. And making this actually made me feel even more inclined to make a quilted version of the Logan with my quilted fabric, because I just really like the style of it. And sometimes I think when you like a pattern and you like the style of it, you should just stick with it really and get your money's worth out of that pattern. The other thing I wanted to mention about this is how speedy it is to sew. So I did this in a morning, and that included my faffing around with pattern pieces and everything. I didn't even have this cut out until 11 o'clock in the morning. And I literally sewed it up in 2 hours, and I can't believe that for something that is a shirt with quite a lot of shirt features and a collar on a stand, how quickly it actually all comes together. And I just find that this style art pattern is so well drafted. Everything just kind of slots into place. There isn't any fiddling or faffing around or anything that you need to do with it. I wasn't particularly careful sewing this. I was quite speedy because I just wanted to get it done, and I just wanted that kind of quick sewing fix kind of thing. And yeah, I got it done in 2 hours, and I was so pleased. And it was just a reminder to me of how much better sewing can make you feel, because I felt in the morning I wasn't still feeling that great. But as I was kind of in that thing of, oh, I don't know if I can be bothered to do any sewing or not, but I knew that if I tried to do some, it would make me feel better. And I thought, I'll just cut something out, and then I cut this out, and I thought, I'll just do it an hour or so and see how I feel. But then of course once you start you just can't stop, and before I knew it I'd made a whole garment, and I did actually feel much better after I'd done that. So yeah, sewing is great, isn't it? It always makes you feel better when you actually get on and do it. So that's my Logan jacket. I will share this in my makes video as well once it's got buttons on and everything. I really want to find some like brass or like dark metally buttons to go on this to give it that kind of denim look. It's not denim at all, but I want it to look denim-y, if you know what I mean. So lastly, I thought I'd just give you a quick knitting update. So I'm still plodding along with my Whitmore cardigan by Taylor Studios. And I'd had a little break from it for a while actually, because over half term we were away, and before that I'd just been so busy that I hadn't really sat down in the evenings and done much knitting. But recently I've picked it back up again, especially while I was feeling poorly. I was just sort of sitting, knitting a little bit, watching Conversations with Friends. Does anyone watch that? If you're in the UK, I'm not sure if it's out in any other countries or anything, but yeah, I watched the whole of Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney over a matter of a day or so. It was just so good and I really enjoyed it. And I was knitting this while I was watching it. So I got quite a bit done then, and I managed to start the sleeves, and I'm holding this really carefully because I really don't want the stitches to fall off of my round needle here. So this is where I am with it. So all of the body is done now, and I've just picked up for the sleeve, which I've knitted this much of, if you can see that. I'll maybe pop this on in a minute so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, I've picked up for the sleeve. So this was actually quite new to me. I have knitted a cardigan top down before, but when I knitted the sleeves, I did it with a magic loop needle. So I was actually using a needle that's a bit too long for the amount of stitches that you've got in the round, and then you knit it in a different way. So I'd not really knit anything in the round before, but this time I got the correctly sized needle, and I'm amazed how quick and easy it is to just knit sleeves in the round. All the rows are knit because even though you're knitting stocking stitch, when you knit in the round it produces a stocking stitch effect. So yeah, it's really lovely and easy to do, and because you're going downwards with the sleeve, I'm actually decreasing as I go rather than increasing. And sometimes when you're knitting sleeves they can be a bit monotonous, can't they, because you start small and then you get bigger and bigger and bigger and they just seem to take forever. But I think knitting it this way, because you're going downwards and you're decreasing sizes or stitches even, it seems to be knitting up quite quick. So here we are. Here it is on me. I'm not sure it goes wonderfully with this dress, but anyway, so I've done that much of the sleeve now, so I just need to continue knitting down, and I'm really loving the fit of this actually. I think it fits really nicely, and I think I've actually been quite lucky with how this pattern is fitting, so hopefully when it's all done I'll still feel the same. I'll stand up and just show you how long it is. So in the end I went for the longer version of the cardigan, and it just falls to kind of here, mid-hip. I do actually think the shorter version would be really nice actually as well. I think it would look really nice with high-waisted things and things like that. I think I'm definitely going to have another go at this cardigan once I've finished this one, because I'd really like to make a fluffier version for winter time. I know I say that all the time and then I'm distracted and I'm on to the next knitting project, and I forget about the ones I want to knit again. But I do really like this style and I love the lace pattern on this. It was really enjoyable to knit. So yeah, we'll see. I shouldn't be thinking about my next project already. I should be just thinking about this one and getting this one done. So I think that's everything I have to catch you up with. All of my plans for June and probably beyond, because I don't think I'm going to be getting all of those things done in 1 month. But hopefully a couple of them might get done. So next week, all being well, and I'll hopefully be filming my sewing day in the life video, where I'll be making something from this lovely fabric. I'll be making up a hag, and that video is actually going to be a collaboration with Becky from Notes from the Sewing Room. So we both bought this fabric and we're both going to be making something completely different with it, and we'll be sharing our finished makes with each other and with all of you. It's just a kind of fun sort of one fabric two ways kind of video, just to see how we both interpreted the fabric and what we decided to make with it. So I hope that'll be enjoyable. Thank you for joining me again today. I'm sorry if it's been a bit of a croaky one. I feel as though I've struggled through it a little bit. But hopefully I'll be feeling better again next week. As always, in the comments, let me know what you're up to. Let me know what you think of my plans. Let me know if you have any advice or any more advice on my quilted jacket situation. If you are new to my channel, I'd love you to consider subscribing. I post videos every week, mainly on a Sunday, all about sewing and making and knitting and craft and things like that. So if you're into those things too, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a like as well. Have a lovely day everyone, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.